Let us begin at the most fundamental level. All of life uses information to organize itself into form. Think of your DNA. It is not a physical structure in the way a brick is. It is a dynamic helical library of information. It contains the precise instructions to assemble proteins, to build tissues, to form organs, and to orchestrate the millions of processes that constitute life itself. A seed does not contain a miniature tree. It contains the informational code that, when placed in the right environment, will unfold into a towering oak. This is the universal principle. Without a new blueprint of information, life cannot give birth to anything new. It can only replicate what has already been. You are, at your most essential level, a walking, talking manifestation of deeply encoded information. Your body, your health, your biological age, all are the physical expressions of the information your cells are consistently receiving and executing. When the information is limited or repetitive, the expression of life remains limited and repetitive. Now let's reason this through with brutal honesty. If information is the blueprint, then your conscious mind is the chief architect of your personal reality. And what is the mind's primary tool? Thought. So follow this cascade, this neurological and biochemical chain reaction that defines the status quo of most lives. Same thoughts equals same information circulating in the neural networks of your brain. This isn't a metaphor, it's a physical fact. The same electrical patterns fire down the same well-worn pathways. This recycled information dictates the same choices. Your brain, seeking efficiency and predictability, will default to the decisions it has made before because they are familiar and neurologically cheap. These choices lead to the same behaviors. You take the same routes, engage in the same routines, and react to stimuli with the same pre-programmed actions. These behaviors in turn create the same experiences in your life. You attract the same types of relationships, encounter the same problems at work, and find yourself in familiar emotional landscapes. These experiences then produce the same feelings and the same emotions. And here is the critical biological lock-in mechanism. Emotions are the chemical language of the past. Feelings of anxiety, frustration, unworthiness, or even a predictable low-grade happiness are not just abstract experiences, they are precise chemical cocktails. Cortisol, adrenaline, and other neuropeptides flooding your system. Each time you feel that familiar rush of stress or pang of lack, you are broadcasting the same chemical information to every one of your 50 trillion cells. Your body, which is the unconscious mind, has no choice but to obey this chemical signal. It responds by priming your immune system for inflammation, signaling your genes for survival mode, and conditioning your nervous system for hypervigilance. Same information, same biology, you are literally, chemically, and neurologically engineering your body to be a perfect reflection of your past. Your personality, which is the totality of your thoughts, behaviors, and emotions, becomes a self-perpetuating prison. Nothing changes. Your personal reality is a feedback loop of the familiar. Everything stays the same. As you learn this new information with focused presence, you are physically altering the structure of your brain. You are making new synaptic connections, building new roads between nerve cells. This is the hardware of a new mind. But the brain is a ruthless efficiency expert. It operates on a use it or lose it principle. If you don't think about it deeply, if you don't review it with consistency, if you don't repeat the mental rehearsal, those fragile new circuits will be pruned apart within hours or days. They are deemed non-essential because they lack the emotional charge and repetition of your old familiar circuits. Therefore, the process is twofold. First, learn the information. Then, and most crucially, remind yourself what you learned. This is not mere revision, it is active recreation. By reminding yourself with full presence and emotional engagement, you are reproducing the same level of mind. You are causing those same new nerve cells to fire together again, and as the fundamental law of neuroplasticity states, neurons that fire together wire together. With enough repetition, these new pathways become the brain's new default. So now your conscious interaction with the immaterial information, the concepts, the paradigms, the possibilities, is being installed neurologically in your brain. You are no longer just a student learning facts, you are a creator building a mind for that information. You are forging the very mental machinery that can perceive and operate from this new reality. You are, synapse by synapse, becoming a new person. Here is the profound, paradigm shattering leap. The reality you perceive with your senses is a tiny, limited fraction of what exists. There is exponentially more information in the immaterial than there is in the material. Your five senses are merely translators, plugging you into the collective, three-dimensional experience we agree to call reality. Let's perform a thought experiment. If I were to systematically remove your senses, take away your sight, your hearing, your sense of smell, your taste, and your touch, what would remain? Your body would still be alive, but you would have no sensory input from it. You would no longer be defined by your job, your relationships, or your possessions. You would be stripped of all external identity. What is left? You would be pure consciousness. And what would you be conscious of? Nothing physical or material. You would simply be conscious of being, of existence itself. You would be awareness. This proves that your essential nature is not the body, but the consciousness inhabiting the body. It also proves there is an invisible field of energy and information that exists beyond your senses. Listen to this, for it is the cornerstone of true creation. That field is real. It is more real than the material world because it is the source of it. This quantum field, this unified field, is an invisible ocean of frequency, energy, and infinite information that connects everything and everyone. It is the realm of pure cause, while the material world is the realm of effect. And here is the most crucial point of all. If you are unaware of it, it does not exist for you. Your reality is defined by the horizon of your awareness. And where you place your attention is where you place your energy. It is the lever you use to signal your genes and call forth a new reality. If all of your attention is on your body and its ailments, on the people in your life and their dramas, on all the objects you own and fear losing, on the places you go and the clock you race against, and if all your attention is mortgaged to the future and the past, regret, constantly trying to predict and control outcomes based on past memories, then you are utterly defined by your environment. You are a slave to the reflection in the mirror. If all of your attention and energy is invested in the material world of effects, then you are condemned to play by the rigid rules of Newtonian physics. You are a solid object in a world of other solid objects, trying to push and pull your way to change. In this reality, creating anything new requires immense time, struggle, and linear effort. You are matter trying to change matter, and it is an exhausting, often futile battle against the entrenched momentum of your past. Is it true that you could read a book and get information, watch a documentary and get information, even listen to a conversation and absorb information? Of course. Your interaction with your environment is the most basic way you gain information. And all I'm saying is there is a whole other reality in the immaterial where there is more information than there is in the material, more intelligence, more solutions, more healing, more synchronicity, and more creative potential than you could ever perceive with your five senses. That invisible field of unifying energy, the quantum field, is a field of infinite information and you are immersed in it. In fact, at your most fundamental subatomic level, you are made of it. You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop. But if you are completely unaware of it because you have no attention on it, then you are condemned to experience reality as a person who is local in space and time. You are a body occupying a specific location with a name, a history, and a personality forged entirely by the past. You are living in a virtual reality simulation of your own memories. The escape, the true miracle, begins when you consciously and consistently withdraw your attention from the outer, material world of effects and place it with unwavering focus on the inner, immaterial world of causes. When you move your consciousness from the particle, the solid, defined problem, to the wave, the infinite, fluid field of possibility, you begin to play by an entirely new set of rules. The rules of the quantum. In that field, you are no longer a victim of your past, you are the creator of your future. You are no longer a human being trying to have a spiritual moment, you are a spiritual being, a field of consciousness, learning to master the human experience.